Now, on Battle of Britain Day, which is today, a restored Second World War Spitfire has gone back on display in Stoke-on-Trent.
The city was birthplace to the iconic plane's creator, Reginald Mitchell, and his great-nephew has been instrumental in the project to restore the plane, which has taken specialists hundreds of hours. It's now back at its home in the Potteries Museum and Art Gallery in Hanley. And it's from there we join our reporter, Lewis Warner. Over to you.
Well, the restoration project here took around 3 years, but finally the iconic Spitfire is back at its home in Stoke-on-Trent. If you haven't seen a Spitfire before, let me tell you, it is amazing. The thing that struck me was the sheer scale of this plane. Of course, it's been unveiled on Battle of Britain Day, an important day that marks the moment the tide turned in the war above our heads, and a day that many pilots were flying these planes. A warning that my report contains flashing images.
They're in the cockpits of their Spitfires and Hurricanes before you can say Bob's your uncle. Way up in the sky, there are Messerschmitts, Junkers, Hankels or Dorniers that are going to get the thrashing of their lives. Here they come, Jerry.
Seen in today's light, the Spitfire warplane still amazes many. Credited for helping deliver victory to the Allies in the Second World War, this fully restored plane now stands in the birthplace of its creator, Reginald Mitchell from Stoke-on-Trent. And it provides the opportunity to be remembered by relatives today.
I feel so proud by what has been achieved. It is fantastic. Everyone's come together. It celebrates my great uncle and what he achieved, but also it's an amazing legacy for the city of Stoke-on-Trent.
The RW388 arrived in Stoke-on-Trent 50 years ago as a gift to the city from the RAF. Over the years, it's thought 10 million people saw it hanging from the ceiling at the Potteries Museum. But slowly, it was falling into disrepair.
About 5 years ago, we decided to restore the Spitfire and rehouse it in this purpose-built gallery in the city centre. Stoke's known for the pits and the pots, but actually, we've also got a fantastic history of high-quality engineering. And I think that's all summed up in Reginald Mitchell, came from Stoke-on-Trent and went on to design many planes, but the world-beating Spitfire.
The Spitfire is easily one of the most recognisable warplanes to have ever existed. It played a critical role in the defeat of Germany's Luftwaffe during the Battle of Britain. At a cost of £600,000, every detail of the newly restored plane was painstakingly reassembled. It now stands in a new gallery costing more than £5 million. A space which today provided former flight engineer Herbert with a chance to remember his experience.
If you were flying over England a nice sunny day, it wasn't bad. If you're flying over Europe and Jerry was being nasty, it was pretty bad.
Part of the Spitfire's success is that it was designed to be modified. In total, there were 24 different variants of the plane, some built at Castle Bromwich in Birmingham. And although he died in 1937 and never saw what the plane went on to become, Reginald Mitchell is today credited with being at the forefront of aviation design. The centre will soon open to the public, allowing more to learn of the Spitfire's great success and to remember those who were lost. It is truly extraordinary. I'm really pleased to say now that we are joined by Reginald Mitchell's great nephew, Julian. Julian, from what you know about him, how do you think he'd feel seeing this standing here today?
Gosh, he would have been so proud. But he was a young man. He died when he was just 42. But in those years, he had already broken the world speed records and done amazing things. But he didn't live really to know what the Spitfire did. So, of course, he would be quite surprised probably by that. But no, anything he did, he was really very much proud of.
And you must be pretty proud as well. You're continuing your family's history in that sense.
Absolutely. You sort of look to him, always looked to what he did. But yeah, no, as a family, we've always been very proud. But as a family, we have. But locally, the whole of Stoke-on-Trent is hugely proud of him, and I believe that goes to the national level too.
So many people I've spoken to today say they were in love with the design of the Spitfire. What do we know about his thinking about the design?
It was cutting edge at the time, obviously, the beautiful shape, the elliptical wings. But the shape was fantastic, but also let's not forget the sound. The sound always makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck every time I hear it, which was a Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. But really, what has endured to this day is that the Spitfire is a symbol of hope and success and victory.
What do you hope this centre will provide for the younger generation?
One thing that is really important, we've got this nod to the past, the Spitfire that's been sort of made good, as we can see, but it's got to become a centre of inspiration. This is all about looking at the past and getting children to build on that and be inspired to follow in what Reginald Mitchell did.
Julian, thank you so much. And if you do fancy coming and have a look at this magnificent plane, it's open to the public from this coming Saturday.
That's a great idea. Thank you very much, Lewis.